Hello and welcome to the March 2nd edition of Speedway Digest, Thursday Night Thunder, the most hardcore motorsports program on the internet. This is episode 250 of the series. I'm your host, Adam Jason Sinclair, and on tonight's special edition of the program, hopefully, we'll be talking about IndyCar, NASCAR, Trans Am, NHRA, Supercross, Formula One, and what other motorsports news pops into the conversation. Matthew Brabham continued his streak of podium finishes in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli's season-opening race at historic Sebring International Raceway. After mechanical failures struck defending champion Chris Dyson and pole sitter Justin Marks, Brabham cruised to victory in the number 20 Jim Weed Ford Mustang, earning his fourth win in just 6 Trans Am starts. Marks led the field to green in his number 99 Trackhouse Chevrolet Camaro, showing incredible speed through the first half of the 27-lap event. Brabham ran hot on Marks' tail, periodically challenging for the lead, but unable to compete the pass, followed by CD Racing owner Dyson, 2002 champion Boris Said, and CD Racing teammate Adam Andretti. Disaster struck Dyson when his number 16 Jim Weed Mustang lost power in lap 14, bringing out a full-course yellow. Said's number 79 ECT anchor bolt and screw Dodge Challenger was damaged when he made contact with Dyson's car as it suddenly slowed in front of him, forcing Said to also visit pit road. On the restart, just 3 laps later, Marks experienced his own power failure, leading to his retirement from the race. Once Brabham took over the lead, he maintained it for the remaining 10 laps. Andretti followed closely in his number 21 Algram Ford Mustang, and the two paced the field until the checkered flag waved, earning CD Racing a 1-2 finish. Keith Grant in the number 40 Truetime Motorsports Camaro rounded out the podium. For those of you who joined me last night for our special edition, which has already been removed from the internet, you'll never be able to hear it ever again. Unser Jr. is scheduled to be on with us this evening. I don't know if he'll actually be able to join us. He did not join us for the special edition last night. However, we're hoping that he's able to contact us this evening and come in and join the show. Unser Jr. and Mark McAllister announced recently that Unser has resigned from the team on entirely amicable terms. Unser decided to focus on promotional opportunities with his new book, A Checkered Past. Among his plans is an audiobook version of his successful book, released late in 2021. He will continue with responsibilities for Vintage Indy and additional projects. McAllister established Future Star Racing in the spring of 2021, with Unser joining at the same time. Since then, they've enjoyed a great deal of success across several ladder series, including the US Formula 2000, FRA, and F4. The team has scored 3 wins and an additional 6 podium finishes. Notable drivers with Future Star include Trans Am champion Ernie Francis Jr., Matt Clark, and Andre Castro. You can follow Future Star Racing on social media at Future Star Racing and at futurestarracing.com. For those of you who are unaware, Future Star Racing is an Indianapolis-based race team that empowers and improves young talented drivers to get them to the next level. Future Star Racing utilizes years of winning racing experience and team members' knowledge for their drivers' growth. As I stated, I'm hoping that Unser Jr. is able to come on the show tonight. I did send him a reminder. We also talked to Mark Dill, the PR guy for SVRA, who also works with Trans Am as well as the other series I mentioned, US F2000, FRA, F4, all different series. He has his own book. He's been on the show before. We talked to Mark Dill, who is our go-between pretty much between us and Unser Jr. So we're hoping that he contacts us this evening. He was unfamiliar with the Podbean program, the Podbean Live app, so hopefully he's able to figure it out. We have high hopes of that. We're also hoping to bring on our co-host, our longtime co-host and friend of the show, Michael Mullally-Capello this evening, but she did have other plans for tonight. So we hope to bring her back on in the future. As I stated earlier in the show, or in the season, last season, in fact, that we're going to be trying a little bit different pattern this year. We might bring in other co-hosts. I've had offers from Tim Despain. I've also had offers from a few other different people, including the go-kart driver Mary Bagley, who's had some experience on this show. She was on it briefly. She didn't have the best show, but I see there's potential there. So we'll see how it goes. We do have other options. We've tried to bring in other people in the past. It hasn't worked out quite as well as I'd hoped, but we'll see how it goes. It should be pretty good. It's always neat to talk to people on this program to have a different perspective, see how they interact with different drivers. So let's see how that goes. Okay, that's not my favorite sound effect, but we're going to try it out anyway. Bridgestone America announced recently the 2-year extension for the Firestone brand's title sponsorship of the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, presented by RP Funding, through 2025. Firestone has been a partner of this event since 2005, then elevated its commitment to become the naming rights partner of the NTT IndyCar Series event in 2014. This is Firestone's 24th consecutive year as the sole tire supplier of the NTT IndyCar Series, as the season gets underway this weekend for the 13th time on the downtown streets of St. Petersburg. The race continues to be an ideal setting for the brand to engage race fans and consumers while showcasing its best-in-class tire technology. In 2023, starting with the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg presented by RP Funding, NTT IndyCar Series cars will compete on Gaial natural rubber, featuring a green sidewall as the alternate tire on all street circuits. Additionally, IndyCar and Green Savoie St. Petersburg LLC, the company which owns and operates the Firestone Indy Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, presented by RP Funding, have signed a multi-year extension. This ensures the continuation of the NTT IndyCar Series racing on the streets of St. Petersburg. Firestone is a time-tested brand whose roots run deep in the Tampa-St. Petersburg area. For nearly 100 years, Firestone Complete Auto Care has been a trusted provider of the tire and automotive services for drivers in the region. Its location on Kennedy Boulevard in downtown Tampa, which is just a few miles from where the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg presented by RP Funding will be held, first opened in 1933, and stands as the largest still operating FCAC location in the U.S. FCAC is part of the Bridgestone retail operation, which owns and operates more than 2,200 tire and vehicle service locations across the country. Firestone is the official tire of the NTT IndyCar Series, currently through the 2025 season. The Firestone Race Tire Engineering Team develops race tire specifications to meet demands of each unique oval, road, and street course circuit on the NTT IndyCar Series schedule. Those efforts to support the most versatile racing series in the world continue to serve as the ultimate proving ground for the tire technology that everyday drivers can find in the Firestone passenger tires on their personal vehicle. The 2023 Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg presented by RP Funding runs March 3rd to the 5th. Tickets start as low as $25. For complete pricing, schedule, and festival information, visit gpstpete.com. Follow the event on social media using @GPStPete and #FirestoneGP for the latest updates. Joining the E-Club also provides insider access on the latest news and offers. The World Formula One Championship, the longest ever with 23 Grand Prix on the calendar, and 3 of them in the U.S., starts up again from Bahrain this weekend. On the subject of restarts, in the past, the Bahrain International Circuit has given spectacular accidents caused by misunderstandings between cars coming out the pits and others that were approaching them along the straight. Interesting term, that misunderstanding, isn't it? According to Brembo's technicians, the Bahrain International Circuit is one of the most demanding for the brakes. On a scale of 1 to 5, it's been rated 4, the same as a classic circuit like Spa-Francorchamps, although they vary in length and shape. The race will start after sundown, so it will be held in artificial lighting. However, this year the presence of lenticular wheel covers, which were introduced in 2022, means that we will not be able to see the incandescent carbon discs. When braking, the single-seaters recover energy when they will use in other stages of the race. Going back to Sebring, as we discussed the Trans Am race there last weekend, the IMSA cars will be heading to the track there on St. Patrick's Day weekend. They got the Endurance Championship race, the 1,000 miles of Sebring taking place on Friday, and then the 12 hours of Sebring taking place on Saturday, March 18th. Should be a great weekend of racing. I plan on being up there for both days, although right now, that's always up in the air. Definitely be there on Friday, more than likely be there on Saturday. With the excitement already brewing surrounding the start of the 2023 NHRA Camping World Drag Racing Series at the 54th Annual Amalie Motor Oil Gator Nationals, 8 Top Fuel stars are already planning for a memorable weekend at the historic Gainesville Raceway. The Pep Boys NHRA Top Fuel All-Star Call-Up returns in 2023, pitting 8 standouts against each other in a unique specialty race that takes place on Saturday, March 11th. It's a marquee, can't-miss attraction to help kick off the new season and definite highlight of the famed Gator Nationals. Reigning world champion Brittany Force, defending call-out winner Steve Torrence, Dustin Ashley, Mike Salinas, Doug Galetta, Josh Hart, Austin Prock, and Clay Milligan make up the 8-car field for the one-day shootout. The distinctive call-out format that promises big money and major bragging rights, along with a special broadcast on Fox Sports 1. The Bet Boys NHRA Top Fuel Stars call-out format was introduced in 2022, with a top-seed driver, which is fourth this season, getting the first selection to call out her first-round opponent. Torrence gets the next selection, going down the line until the first-round matchups are set. After surefire dynamic first round, the driver who makes the quickest winning round will select their semifinal opponent, locking in the other matchup as well. It makes for a thrilling Saturday duel, leading into Sunday's eliminations, also setting the stage for a terrific way to open the 2023 season. Last year's Pep Boys NHRA Top Fuel All-Star Crowd-Out was finished in Indy due to weather, with Torrence going 3.692 seconds at 329.02 miles per hour in his 11,000 horsepower Capco Contractors dragster. To slip past Force in a stellar final round. Torrence, who won 4 straight World Championships from 2018 to 2021, will look for back-to-back specialty race wins and the chance to do it for the first time in Gainesville, while Force will look to start her second career championship defense with a call-out victory. The Speed Dynamo made a track record run in Gainesville last year, scorching the track with a run of 337.75 miles per hour en route to her world title. Standouts Ashley and Salinas, who each had the best seasons of their careers in 2022, advanced to the semifinals in the shootout last year, while the veteran Galetta was a participant last year as no stranger to specialty races in his storied career. Milliken and rising stars Josh Hart and Austin Prock will make their first appearances in the call-out. Hart started his top field career with a victory at Gainesville, his first career race in 2021, while Prock came on stage strong to end 2022, winning 2 playoff races and finishing third in the point standings. With 3 rounds of specialty race set to take place on Saturday, it adds another thrilling attraction to the kickoff of the NHRA's 72nd season. For more than 5 decades, Gainesville Raceway has served as hallowed grounds for drivers eager to leave their mark on the storied facility. The first event of the year, will also celebrate the 2022 World Champion with a ring ceremony, along with a pre-race kickoff party in Gainesville to help set the tone for an incredible opener. In 2022, Trip Tatum in Top Fuel, Matt Hagan, Funny Car, Dallas Glenn, Pro Stock, and Karen Stauffer in Pro Stock Bike all picked up victories during a rare-breaking weekend in Gainesville. Hagan earned the first ever victory for Tony Stewart Racing, and Karen Stauffer made the quickest pass in Pro Stock motorcycle history at 6.665 seconds en route to the win. Tatum earned the first career victory as the first-time winner picked up the victory for a second straight year in Top Fuel. Action will start with qualifying next Friday. Final qualifying in the NHRA Pep Boys Top Fuel All-Star Call-Out will be on Saturday and eliminations on Sunday, as the NHRA stars will aim to open their 2023 season in standout fashion. To purchase tickets for the 2023 Amarillo Motor Oil NHRA Gear Nationals, fans can visit nhra.com/tickets. Children under 12 are free in general admission with the purchase of an adult ticket. This weekend's the Baby Gators there at Gator Nationals. It'll be the first time that Tony Stewart will be racing in Top Alcohol Dragster at the beginning of his full-time season in Top Alcohol. It'll be kind of cool to see that. He'll also be racing next weekend at the Big Gator Nationals. It'll be kind of interesting.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And with that countdown, now it's time to talk a little bit of NASCAR, shall we? Tomorrow night, the race is the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200 presented by Westgate Resorts. Takes place at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. The purse is $703,062. TV will be on Fox Sports 1 at 8 p.m. Eastern. It'll also be available on MRN Radio and Sirius XM and NASCAR Radio. The official distance is 201 miles, which is 134 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 30, Stage 2 on lap 60, and the final stage ends on lap 134. Saturday night is the NASCAR Xfinity Series Alice Cove Uniform 300. Starts at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, in the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, of course. The price for that is $1.716356 million, $1,716,356. It starts on TV at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1. It'll be available on radio at the PRN network, as well as Sirius XM and NASCAR Radio. Distance is, of course, 300 miles, which is 200 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 45, Stage 2 on lap 90, and the final stage ends at the end of the race, lap 200. Weekend concludes on Sunday with the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube. It'll also be at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. TV time starts at 3:30 p.m. Actually, TV time starts at 3 p.m. TV race time starts at 3:30 p.m. Purse is nearly $9 million, $8.960174, $8,960,174. Radio will also be on PRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. The distance as stated, 400 miles, which is 267 laps. Stage 1 ends at lap 80, Stage 2 at 165, and Stage 3 at 267. It'll be interesting to see if Kyle Busch is able to repeat there at Las Vegas, which is his home track. That would be kind of awesome. Be a great way to start a season with Richard Childress Racing. Are you a race car driver, crew chief, pit member, track owner? Maybe you're just a huge fan of the sport. Contact us to get your spot on the show. After all, you deserve 15 minutes of fame, and we would love to hear from you. The easiest way to get in touch with me is to go to SpeedwayDigest.com at the racing news section down at the bottom of the page. Got all my contact information on there. Find me on social media. You can find me on email, easier, also from there. So just look for me on SpeedwayDigest.com at the bottom of the page. That's the racing news section. You have to click on it a little bit and go down a few pages, but I'll definitely have something posted there. I posted a lot of stuff this past weekend. I'll be doing some more this next weekend. I also have an article I'm working on about the NASCAR race in Chicago with the new mayor. That might be interesting. I don't know if he will support it entirely, but I know probably will because it's a good thing for the city. It'll be awesome to see how it goes. So we'll be working on that this weekend. We also have lots of other different articles. Some of them are previewed in this show. So be sure to check that out. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Unser Jr. will be joining us tonight. Let me go ahead and check my email really quick while I'm sitting here. See if he contacted me. He did not. And that's totally fine and dandy. I hope to reschedule him for the future. But with that, let's go ahead and close out the show this week. We've got a big show next week. We're going to have the owners of Farah on here. They're going to be talking a little bit to us about the Formula and Automobile Racing Association, which can be mostly in Homestead, Miami Speedway, at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Be interesting to see what they have going on. We'll also be doing a little review of some of the racing that took place this weekend, including the IndyCar race. And so that's kind of neat. I had not going to the race in St. Petersburg this year. I have gone in the past several years, in fact. So it'd be kind of cool. See how that goes. Might watch a little bit of it. Don't know how much racing we'll get to watch this weekend. As always, it's kind of hectic sometimes, but we'll see what we see. There's all sorts of opportunities on the internet and on TV now to see racing everywhere. So we'll be talking a little bit more about MAB TV next week. Got an article about that. Some of the new stuff that they're going to be doing. So be sure to check that out in the racing news section of SpeedwayDigest.com because they are one of the official people covering Trans Am. Trans Am is also available online on YouTube. That's live as it goes. So if you didn't check that out this past weekend, why the heck not? Because they had awesome racing from Sebring. And it didn't look like anybody was there, which is unfortunate. We're going to have to head out there sometime, probably next season. I thought about it this year. It just didn't work out well. But as I said, we're going to be in Sebring in a few weeks. That'll be awesome. Planning on hanging up there on Friday, probably up there on Saturday. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. So that'll be pretty cool. And also, for those of you who listened to my program yesterday, and you've listened in the past as well, I'm working on getting a Ford Maverick built. It'll be supposedly scheduled in about 2 weeks from now. And I'm working on an article about car covers because I was nice enough to be offered a car cover from carcover.com for the Ford Maverick. So we'll go ahead and put out pieces about that this weekend as well. Actually, they might come out next weekend, but I'm going to be working on it this weekend. I'd like to thank the carcover.com for their support. Patrick there at carcover.com. It's been awesome. So if you're in the market for a car cover for a new car or truck, be sure to check out carcover.com. They have all sorts of options for budget contracts all the way up to the top of the line stuff. So be sure to check that out on carcover.com. I also might do a little bit of reviews on some other stuff that I'm purchasing for the Ford Maverick. There's some interesting things out there, aftermarket stuff that's kind of cool. There's also some stuff from Ford that's kind of interesting, which I might be covering as that comes in. Might even do a little bit of an article on that, just because I talked a little bit about that when I first ordered it, which is roughly 6 months ago. So I think I should cover it a little bit on SpeedwayDigest.com. So what do you think about that? That was not the sound effect I was looking for, but okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and end the show now. It's like 8:20. It's been a short little show tonight, but I think we hit on everything we tried to hit on. I think we provided a good review of all the stuff that's going on. In addition, this weekend at Daytona, they've got the Supercross race taking place on Saturday. It's the beginning of Bike Week. They've got some racing at the Volusia Speedway on Sunday and Monday, also part of Bike Week. So be sure to check that out if you're in the Central Florida area looking for a race to head out to. I know you have some listeners from Central Florida. I've had some guests on from Central Florida in the past. So be sure to check that out. It's pretty awesome to have that sort of stuff going on. Never really been up there much for Bike Week. I did the only real motorcycle event that I've covered for Speedway Digest was one several years ago. That was at Homestead Miami Speedway, thanks to Gene Crouch, who's now, of course, the president of the American Motorcycle Association. So that's kind of cool. Maybe we'll get to do a little bit more now that he's the president of it again, because I did talk to him originally, but we'll see. Hopefully it's some great weather up there in Daytona. Pardon me a second there. Hopefully we'll have some great weather up there in Daytona for the weekend. Looks like it's going to be nice and dry. Past few years have been really, really damp there for the Supercross race. So see how that goes. But it should be good. It's going to be on Peacock. I know that's scheduled for Saturday, so anyone knows that Peacock, be sure to check that out. Personally, I think they should return to Orlando. That was a great event they had at the Camping World Stadium a couple of years ago. And I think that they're missing out by not attending there, but that's my opinion. Any of you who did have a chance to see Supercross at the Camping World Stadium, you know what I'm talking about. Be sure to check out the past episodes of Thursday Night Thunder, as well as the other shows on the Speedway Digest Radio Network at speedwaydigest.podbean.com. You can also check out the show on Facebook by searching for Speedway Digest Thursday Night Thunder in the search bar. Done some adjustments to the page there on Speedway Digest Thursday Night Thunder on Facebook. Be sure to check it out. I changed out the cover photo. I intend on updating the photos for some of the past guests, although I haven't done that. I haven't been quite as good at maintaining that. I'm pretty much half of the show behind now, but we'll see how that goes. I'll try my best to get it updated a little bit at a time, and hopefully we catch up. Again, I apologize to those of you who are expecting to hear Unser Jr. on the show tonight. I know I did promote it on Twitter, so we'll see. He might be able to come on in the future. I have high hopes about that. I did talk to him on the phone last Wednesday, so I thought he'd be able to come in. It just didn't work out, and that's fine. But again, we do have a lot of different people who are reaching out to us to be on the program. Some of them racing related, some of them not. But we're going to try our best to get in touch with as many of them as possible and keep this a very well-rounded show with a motorsports heart, but an idea to share as much as we can with those of you who care in the future. Okay, that wasn't what I was thinking anyway, but we'll see. In addition, if you're a fan of South Florida, and who isn't, be sure to check out the latest news information about our Slice of Paradise at my blog site for Warplumb's Fantastic Finds, which can be found on Facebook. On Twitter, easiest way is to go to @PBHappening, and by heading to for Warplumb's fantasticfinds.wordpress.com. That's FABORPLUMBS, fantasticfinds.wordpress.com. Again, we thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again next week in the Thunderdome as we discuss the major issues in the world of auto racing. It's going to be a great show next week. We hope you all come back and hear us. Thanks again. Bye.